Hi everyone, it's Neil from the Four Corners, and welcome to a video talking about an area that I feel Sons of Garmadon kind of fell apart in, where Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 1, at least so far, has really picked up. Now the reason I'm comparing these seasons in particular is because both have very down-to-earth Ninjago plots building up the bigger story to be told in the next season, like how the Oni and Dragon were foreshadowed in Sons of Garmadon, and how the Source Dragons were teased in Dragons Rising Season 1 and Season 2 Part 1. Plus, a lot of Ninjago fans relate Season 2 with Sons of Garmadon because of the similar levels of maturity, so I thought this would be a good place to start from. Now before we begin, I can already see the comment section absolutely exploding. Well, let me explain. Sons of Garmadon is an almost perfect season. Let me get that out of the way, and one of the greatest Ninjago has to offer. But I always felt like one thing it was lacking was imagination, in a particular sense, so just stay with me here. Sons of Garmadon was the beginning to a new chapter of a very mature story Ninjago was telling. One great way the intention was made obvious is by Harumi. We as Ninjago fans never thought of the collateral damages done when the ninja saved the city, but Sons of Garmadon took a seemingly innocent battle from a seemingly more simpler time and told us the dark side of that with Harumi's parents dying in the building the great Devourer had compromised and everything. But apart from story elements, there were other aspects to make sure this story was more mature. The weapons weren't colored gold anymore, which they hadn't been since about Hands of Time, I believe, but that changed as soon as Ninjago wanted to become more for kids post season 11. The action had more realistic gravity to it, air jutsu and elemental dragons were removed, and the ninja's powers were nerfed a lot, and it seemed most of the time they pulled it from realistic sources like Jay using electricity cables or Kai manipulating fire from a vase. Interestingly enough, the ninja were also extremely surprised when Kilo could levitate rocks with the Oni mask like they hadn't seen much more crazier things before. And all this is to not only help write a more captivating plot, but also make the show feel more mature. But that's when we get to the issue. While all these things worked amazing for Sons of Garmadon, and I wouldn't change a thing going back, I personally do like how Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 1 did the opposite and was able to feel similar maturity wise. I feel like Sons of Garmadon thought maturity could only exist through making the show as realistic as possible, so they went backwards by taking away a lot of concepts and being more grounded with the newer ones, like the idea of the Oni and Dragon. But this first half of Dragons Rising is able to be mature while being fun and imaginative and adding more instead of take away. The writers aren't scared to let Ninjago be different to the point where we got a whole new fighting style called the Rising Dragon Strike, which the concerns or reasons to not be concerned for how overpowered that is I'll discuss in a future video. But we also got talking dragon masters and shatter spin, ancient spells taking the form of a skeleton, and so many more examples of Ninjago not being afraid to be Ninjago. It is colorful, it is packed full of creativity and fresh ideas, and it is still able to tell very mature storylines, and I am here for it. Whether it be the sad fact that Eagle is old and will never be who he used to be, he's losing time, or Kai just wanting to go back to the days where things were fun, or Lloyd's trauma and stress as the Green Ninja culminating in disturbing visions. And my favorite plotline being Aaron's inferiority complex this whole season, and I think it's going to continue into the future seasons as well. It is very mature. I think Dragons Rising Season 1 was more like Sons of Garmadon in terms of literal storytelling. It told a much more grounded story about going through the city of Imperium and fighting the fascist government, kind of like how Sons of Garmadon were also grounded in the city and had the ninja going against bikers. But it's clear Dragons Rising Season 1 was never meant to be that mature in the first place. It was more of a fun start to the show, and a very good one at that. In the end, I love everything about Season 8 of Ninjago, and I don't think its push to be less Ninjago and more realistic is a flaw, but I personally prefer how Ninjago is not scared to be itself and proved it can still tell serious stories alongside having the benefit of being creative and fresh, because that makes the show so much better in so many ways. It is truly unlike anything I've seen before, and it is so captivating now. Thank you for watching this video. Maybe in the future we can compare Hunted to Dragons Rising Season 2 when the tournament arc comes out, because that's when the Source Dragon comes in and everything. So maybe there's like certain comparisons we can do there in the future, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you for watching this video. Comment down below on a scale of 10, how excited are you for the next part of Season 2? I'm definitely a 10 right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.